Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of the Game Collectors. It is time. And, Tristan, before further ado, let's introduce the third person to our trio over here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ariel, introduce yourself.
It's Ariel Aces. A lot of people know me online. I'm in tons of Facebook groups, big, huge collecting circles. I do a lot of work with some game companies. I'm always posting stuff on X, on Blue Sky. We'll see some stuff.
We're finally putting your face on a podcast, huh? I mean, So you were telling us before, but I mean, like, what's your exposure? Like, how have you put yourself out there other than X and Blue Sky and whatnot?
Not much. I mean, I'm really big into the modding stuff and a lot of the retro stuff. So I've been on a stream with Retro RGB with Bob.
Badass.
Showing up some stuff that he's always doing. I've been on an episode with My Life in Gaming as well. So I really haven't put myself out there that much. People know me more, just from my avatar on X. But I don't mind. This is great. I like being able to show off some more stuff. So this is good. Thank you for including me now. On what'll probably be a more consistent basis. So this is gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, I know we're not ready to show anything off yet today, but I know all three of us are gonna be showing off a lot more stuff, development wise in the future. So it's gonna be a lot.
Well, and because we're popping your podcast cherry here, Eric.
Well, I mean, technically you would be my third.
Third base. Third base. Floppy thirds. But because we're popping your hosting cherry, we're hostess the mostest. What would you say is your claim to fame? Claim to fame.
No, I don't have any fame.
Well, I think you have one thing in particular that no one else does, and I think you know what we're talking about. Those your Etsy shop. I don't know if you sell them anywhere.
Okay, the Hollow 3D FX stuff that I've been doing for about the last year and a half now.
Yeah, instead.
Well, that's not my. It's technically not my Etsy shop. It's with a wonderful designer that I'm working with. I also do design, but he's been cranking out like crazy some really awesome stuff, and I'm helping him on the print side with this gentleman. His name is John Danilo. You'll know more online as Dinierto Designs. We can include his link later on to direct to the Etsy shop if you want. Sure. He's actually been doing a lot of retro, a lot of Nest Pi stuff. He does some 3D printing. He's been doing a lot of really cool stuff for a long time. And then we kind of just decided to gang up and start collaborating on some beautiful Hollow 3D FX stuff that we've been doing now for a while, because he saw what I've been doing on the Tap2/Zapperoo side for Mister, and then we just kept on expanding it.
Yeah. Well, that's where I'm just going to get you out there a little bit, just so people know a little bit more about Ariel, what they have seen of your things online, because people have seen your stuff. Also, like in the physical publishing space and the license space, I know you've done a few items.
Yes.
So go ahead and tease at least the one that you can tease.
I mean, I can tease anything. I mean, everything that I've done up to now, I can pretty much see, unless it's currently in development. Which I do have a few things that I'm working on.
Well,
but no, I've been.
But Tristan, I don't think you know this, or maybe you do. But there's a certain Croc statue that he may have had a hand in working on.
Yes.
No, I didn't know about this. No.
Okay.
Did you know about the Croc release?
Yes, I know about the Croc release, but I didn't know you had involvement with it though.
Yeah.
So let's hear it. So Argonaut Games is developing. Rocket Games is publishing. It's headed by Michael Devine, formerly of Ziggurat, and Douglas Bogart, formerly of Limited Run Games. It's not their first launch, but it's one of their first major launches. It's gone very well. We put together an absolutely killer collector's edition for it, and yes, between me and my 3D designer, Ozzy, who will hope maybe we'll have some point in the future. We'll include him too. We actually put together quite a few items for that collector's edition. We're doing the statue for it. We're doing the stickers. Doing the keychain. There's a few other things in there. I'm helping out with the design and whatnot. And just recently, and actually, they're still selling it. They're still selling both items. They have the Gobbo plush. So, if you want to, if we can link to that, that'll be cool. They're the Gobbo plushes that, are going to be really cute, about 5-6 inches, super adorable, very inexpensive, only $20. And also their apparel, because that's something I do a lot of. I do a lot of apparel. So doing the Croc t-shirts too. So yeah, I'm doing quite a few things with them.
So in other words, like, Ariel gets out there, everyone. We gotta get since we're popping his cherry of hosting, we gotta get him to indulge you all in some of the cool shit that he's doing, because he does a lot of shit. Like, let's be.
Oh, go ahead.
No.
I was going to say that's one of the exciting things I like about like meeting other people that have. I mean, like everyone has like all these arms and like all these different pots in this like retro gaming scene and like all this new stuff coming out too. But like unless you like talk to them and meet them, I mean, I know that you've done a lot of stuff, but we haven't really talked yet. So
that's true.
It's just impressive your pedigree, and I mean, same with Jeff. If people haven't met Jeff or listened to Jeff, he's got decades of stuff behind his belt.
All the writing, all the books, and
and I've got my hand.
He's got so much behind him.
Yeah.
Well, and since our last episode, I was actually just on Fox TV as well, acting.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
He's got an IMDb page now or something.
So just to throw that one out there, I was on Rescue High Surf, HI, Hawaii Surf. And in the episode, Navy EOD, Explosive Ordnance Disposal, was going to get rid of a munition down in the ocean, and a sailor died. Oh. And during the funeral, I was part of the 21-gun salute. And I'm in the Army, but I was wearing Donald Ducks in the Navy.
Yeah, how did that feel?
Junior dude. I realized very quickly I never want to wear that uniform. That thing is hot. I got it dirty immediately. It's dirty as shit. Every time I right shoulder arms the rifle and went to put it in my pocket, I got the uniform dirty, and we had to do like 40 takes. So every time to clean up the uniform. So the ladies are coming over with like white out so it doesn't look all dirty every single time. And they were on my freaking face in the episode. So
yeah, we saw the clips that you put on Facebook. What's funny, Tristan, is that he's not saying that as an actor. He's saying that as an Army guy, because there's always a rivalry, between all the branches.
Yeah.
We'll wear a Navy uniform, eventually Army Navy.
Yeah. And they destroyed us at football. Well, like they crushed us on the Army Navy game. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Navy destroyed Army. It was ridiculous. But yeah. No, but the thing is, I've been in the Army for 20 years, so of course I'm gonna be pro Army.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
I'm Air Force. I'll just watch you guys fight over there.
That's right. Don't want you to fall out of your chair too hard.
Yeah, chair force. No, I was one of those people that was actually traveling around working. So
yeah, you were all over the damn world, Sims.
Oh yeah, that's an understanding.
You're happily retired though, unlike me. Dude, they did my shit. They didn't
actually enjoy my house for the first time in my life.
Yeah. Soon. Just imagine though, everything that I've created, I've done on the side as a side hustle. Imagine if I actually have time.
Yeah,
it'd be freaking ridiculous.
But see, that's all of us. I mean, yes, I have done some stuff as part of the studio that I own, on the game side. But my bread and butter is, on the toy side. So I've been in the toy business since. Man, I'm going on 26 years now, 27 years.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, that's kind of like what got me into games over the last decade, but it's
yeah.
Well, and then behind you, we can obviously see you collect a little bit. So,
yeah, fighting.
Just a little bit. I mean, there's so much,
it's funny.
Ton. Yeah, I have storage units of stuff that I can't even have with me because I moved too damn much.
Is that a television behind you, by the way?
That door right there. Well, actually, you can see the other wall. There's more on the wall there. But yeah, that door is like there's like the treasure room there. There's even
Is that
more.
a sharp NES television behind you?
I wish. No way. That's just a regular Sony Trinitron.
Gotcha.
I mean, mine's in storage. I do have one from back in the day. Like I have my sharp end. So
Hopefully I'll be able to buy it from you later on.
I don't sell stuff, but yeah, maybe.
Are the legs intact?
So when I got it, it was missing one leg, so I removed the other three because you just had to replace the base at that point. So I was like,
But you had but the other three were intact.
At one point, yeah, they're not.
That's
anymore.
good. Yeah, well, hopefully you can find a fourth one.
You can 3D print them anymore.
Well, you could either 3D print them or you just reprint the base, or I find a replacement base, which is actually how you legitimately do it from a collector perspective, is that you can't just attach a leg on it where they break, because they break like right at the edge and then they'll jag it when it likes. Exactly. So you have to actually pull the base off of it and replace it. And I have seen a few replacement bases over the years, but now shit's so obscure. And it takes up so much damn space on the table that it's actually better without them right now for my purposes until I retire. Once I retire and set up the legit, rec room, because my whole game room is going to be a giant rec room with a bar in it and everything. Like once I do that, then I will see how I can fix it permanently. But until then, like I move so much, I might as well not. I'm not even worried about it yet. Like, yeah,
once you retire, you got to get you down to my neck of the woods. You know, you'll be able to enjoy the sunshine just a little bit more.
Well, you know where I'm retiring at, right north of you, so it's fine. I'll be like, and he's down in Miami, by the way.
Yeah, you Floridians. I'm in the middle of the country near Omaha.
Wait. Well, I'm a Floridian just because I live here, but technically I'm from New York originally. So
okay,
I'm a New Yorker.
I'm obviously a Californian, so.
I'm sorry.
I'm from shit.
Get out of here.
From
West Coast, West Coast, baby.
I'm from Chicago, so y'all can fuck. Best. Nah.
I like my ice cream too. It's all good.
Yeah, it's all good.
West Coast or True Coast. It's all right. I like it all.
Yeah, we got West, Central, and East now here. This is and I'm in the middle. What the?
Got it all covered.
That's the beauty. That's the beauty of our community. You see, it's people from all over, and we don't bitch and fight. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know if we can curse on it. We don't curse. we don't fight about major things. We all get along. We'll nitpick about little things, but we all get along, unlike the rest of the current state of affairs, in our country right now. But
all I have to say though, Tristan, is once I actually can retire and I'm in Florida, we're gonna do some game meetups for the entire community, and we're gonna have the best Chicago and New York style pizza there that you can have. Like, it's gonna be badass.
We'll have the best New York pizza and Chicago slop you can get.
I don't know, guys. I think California pizza's the best. I'm just kidding.
Now, the thing is that are you talking Chicago style pizza? They are talking slop, Ariel. Or are you talking?
Yeah, that's not pizza, dude. That's not pizza. That's just
it's pie. It's a pie.
Okay, whatever.
No, there's pizza pie. But here the thing is there is a Chicago style pizza that's a thin crust that's fucking amazing that I've had my entire life. So
I'm talking about the little deep dish stuff that people always talk about, that when they compare Chicago pizza with New York pizza, that's what I'm talking about.
That's deep dish. That's like if you're comparing that to Detroit style or something. That's not the same as a New York style pizza. New York style pizza is classic. Yes, like
hell yeah.
But there is a Chicago style thin crust I'll eventually introduce you to when we go to Chicago, and we don't go to Illuminati's, but we go. The Illuminati's is not pizzeria. No, like I lived 20 minutes from Chicago my whole life. It's fucking amazing. All right. I can't even eat it though because I have a damn gluten allergy. So it's all soulless at this point. It's terrible. It's
sorry, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So either way, I can't really defend it because I can't eat. But that being said, we'll have both there. And
yes, we will have an amazing meetup at some point in the future.
And does the dude out in Miami still exist that actually ships in the water from New York? Because there was a dude in Kendall out there in Miami that would the fucking water.
Yeah, no, that doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately.
Damn,
it's too expensive. You know how expensive that gets?
That shit was good. Now we're on the pizza podcast. We're here.
Yeah, I thought this was a game podcast. What the heck?
Well, we always go down the river, man. That's video game bullshit. We call it the bullshit river. So,
Well, what goes best with video games? Our food. We enjoy our food when we're gaming. If we're doing a LAN party, or something like that.
And this ain't water. This is a spicy tequila from Tantayo. It has jalapeno in it. Jalapeno tequila.
I didn't know we were allowed to drink on. Man, I should have grabbed a drink.
Yeah.
Got my bite.
I got 4 fingers in this thing. I'm fun here. So I would say we should transition to the collector section and what we have gotten in over the last month. I think there's some fun stuff. And I do have something that came in yesterday that I feel like is pretty dope. It's something that was part of a Kickstarter that I got. And I don't know if you've heard of Trominal. This is
Trominal. Isn't that like a medicine or something?
That's an old man Dan joke there, Tristan. Trominal. This is a Virtual Boy music cartridge.
Are you serious, bro? That looks badass.
That's insane.
And so they shipped this to me. As the creator, this makes me hurt a little bit inside that they did a black back, but they did it all disassembled. So I actually created this and I put it in a box protector myself. But it is a legit cartridge for
that is sick.
With a Virtual Boy. It has a manual in it, a little instructor manual. It has a CD soundtrack in it as well as stickers. So, and what they didn't include, which I would recommend if the guy from Trominal is watching this, is I would recommend you put a little piece of cardboard in it that holds the cartridge together, because this box falls apart because it doesn't have anything in here. Fortunately, he put some packing material in there. I used the packing material to give it a little bulk, so that way it guys move around.
Dude, can you imagine if I made you that box? It would be so badass.
Oh, that'd be insane.
It would be shiny, and that's the thing. So this is the kind of stuff that we're going to see here, Ariel. We're going to see the cool stuff that indie creators make. This is a home.
I really want that. Oh my god! So it's not for sale?
It was on Kickstarter. It's Kickstarter backers.
Oh.
And so now you're going to have a front row seat, because at the end of this episode, we're going to talk about the newest Kickstarters that have recently completed, so we can go and support them.
Do you happen to know if after the Kickstarter, if they're going to make more, if they're going to be available after the Kickstarter?
One would assume that most Kickstarters create a few extras. And so I already hit the guy up. I already hit the creator up. He's in Germany. I hit him up and I let him know that we're going to be covering on this episode. And so that way he can check it out. So if you're checking it out, make sure you make some extra copies, because I probably have 2 people who want a copy.
Yes, I definitely do.
Yeah. So that's one of the cool ass items. And then if we're going into the Kickstarter realm, I do have one other Kickstarter item I did get in the last month, and it is this game, Flea 2. And so Flea 2 is a platformer. And by the way, Trominal, he only made 125 copies. This one's out of 160 copies. Ariel style. There is a Flea plushie that came with it. So this thing is cute as hell. Now, Flea itself is a platformer, but the character is like a tiny little flea, and he continually bounces and moves around. So you're kind of
like a flea does.
Like a flea does. And it's single screen puzzle platforming action. You have to avoid all the little spikes and everything, because you're like on the inside of a dog or something doing this. It's so
I love how big the homebrew community has gotten. I mean, it's homebrew / indie community has gotten. There's so many games now made for Game Boy, NES, Virtual Boy. I mean, it's just there's no lack of it. It's awesome. Even if modern video games stopped tomorrow, we would have so much retro stuff that still keeps coming out. It's awesome
forever. And the thing that's crazy is that when I wrote the NES homebrew book like years ago, like 10 years ago, this was right before NES Maker was released. I always call it NES Maker because Pat the NES punk hates NES, so I always say NES Maker. Yeah, so when NES Maker was created, so I had thousands of games in my book then. It was a 500-page book with all of the cool shit.
That's a lot.
And now it's like quadruple. Like there's so many cool ass games. Like Flea and Flea 2 weren't out when I released it. So in my definitive complete NES book, I did a like highlight of homebrews, like the coolest ones that you should have in your collection that would be part of like when the license set came out. Like these games would fit well with the NES library because before I covered all the demos, everything. But because NES what is it? The old community, Nintendo age is gone.
Nintendo age.
Like that whole community is gone. That means that whole everything is resources. Everything is gone. It's all in my book, so people have it preserved. But like, there's no way to categorize any of that anymore.
It does exist in somebody's hard drive somewhere. There's
I know
talk of the circles when it was taken down, but you know we'll leave that for Yeah, we'll leave that for another day. All right, but hold on. Before you go any further, you hit a pet peeve. All right, hold on. You hit a pet peeve. It is not NES. It's NES.
I know, and that's why I had to add to it. I call it NES because it drives Pat the NES punk mad.
I know it's like, but it's like, and I understand there that it drives me into the same thing with the SNES. There's some people that say SNES. And that's like, oh my God, it drives me nuts.
Brits say NES.
Yes, I mean, so I understand that's how they grew up with it. So I'm not gonna yell at them because of that. It's a cultural thing, I guess.
So Tristan, we have to ask him then. You're from New York. Do you call it Mario Brothers?
Mario Brothers.
Do you call it Ninja Gaiden?
No, I got Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, it's like literally Ninja Gaiden, dude. Everybody, all your people in New York and New Jersey do that shit. And it's funny because, like, I had a guy telling me, oh, it's Mario. It's 100% Mario. And I'm like, let me play this. And I played literally the Mario Brothers 3 commercial, like, Mario from Nintendo. I'm like...
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, it's an accent thing, so I'm not going to tell my brothers no. It is what it is. You just gotta learn to live with it, brother.
Yeah. So, I mean, the thing is you're 100% correct, though. It is NES because it's an acronym, Nintendo Entertainment System. Of course it is. But I'm going to say NES every time because it drives the punks mad. So, I mean, if he's going to send people at conventions to talk smack and go, have you seen his book? They used to send people and fuck with me, so I fuck with him. Like, that's all we do. It's all we do. It's fun.
All right, so we got Trominal, we got Flea. What else you got? What are the?
It showed off too. Do you guys have anything? Otherwise, I got some other stuff.
No, go. It's times are tough, so I haven't bought much in the last couple of months. So.
Okay.
Go ahead. Keep showing it off. I will live vicariously through your wallet.
Well, it's just stuff that I have gotten over the months, and the thing is, a lot of that stuff was like I kickstarted it like 6 months ago. But one thing is, I had a story, and I'm not sure if we talked this on the Game Collectors, but GameStop. Did we talk about GameStop and the chromatic?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so just to bring Ariel up to speed, GameStop and has chromatics at GameStop.
Yeah, that I know.
So I walked in and I'm like, hey, do you have any of the chromatic games? And the girl looks it up and she says, oh, we have them, but I'm not going to go get them for you. I'm busy. What? So I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll just order them online. So I did, and it was like buy 5 get 1 free or whatever because they had like the group of them because they had 5 of the games at GameStop and they were missing one. So I did get them in, and so I got chromatic games, and they have your type of chroma thing.
Very nice looking. Toki-Tori, classic there. Love it.
So Toki-Tori, Patchy and Matchy. This is the one GameStop did not have. Patchy and Matchy, which is a puzzle game. It looks like Yoshi Cookie or something.
Yeah.
Toki-Tori obviously is the classic Game Boy Color. You got Into the Dark. This looks like a little bit of Othello, maybe, with some sci-fi shoot 'em up in it too. Like, interesting. Then you got the ones that I would have bought. Those 3 I would not have bought if they weren't part of this collection because I already have Toki-Tori on like Switch, I think. There is this one, like Traumatarium Pensinet.
And it's interesting. I like the art.
This one looks like a badass little like horror style. So This is the next game on the Chromatic. It's called Dragon Rhythm or Dragonism or Dragon.
Okay, that's really cool, actually.
Dragon. This one is like an RPG. So this is like one that I would 100% would buy. 100%. This game is awesome. It's like mini dungeons. Looks like, that Dragon Quest remake or Link's Awakening style, but then you have like the
Totally want to play.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon fighting.
Yeah, this game looks freaking badass. So this is one. And then the final game I 100% would buy, Tales of Monsterland DX.
Cool.
Indie platformer.
So what's interesting? What I want to know is because I want to play Dragonim. I can see myself buying that before I have a chance to buy a Chromatic. But I have my Pocket. Will those cartridges work in the Pocket?
Oh,
that is the freaking problem. Because I tried. And there's a double problem. So when I went to open this game, because I did open my copy, just doing this to open it ripped the box right here.
Yep. You have to use a flat edge on the sides, bro. There's a way to do it. You have to get a butter knife and you pop it up.
Yeah, I wasn't being that bougie. I was just trying to open it like a normal human with normal human fingers, and it didn't work.
Sorry, I'm a collector. I like to make sure my cardboard is great.
Yeah.
So see, isn't that technically using Game Boy Color?
No, it is. However, this does not work in the analog pocket. I tried.
I bet it's probably a different pinout, honestly, right?
No, it should be 1-to-1. But it has to be perfect.
It's a Game Boy Color game.
Well, yeah, but I mean, can you play it on a Game Boy Color?
You should be able to. According to this, it says that it does.
Okay.
Yeah. So then it should work in the Game Boy.
It should work. It should also work in the analog, but analog is FPGA, and if their FPGA core isn't supported, they're going to have to update it, all that shit. So that's the problem with the FPGA side, is that the FPGA is meant for traditional Game Boy, not necessarily the new mappers. Now, of course, I looked it up online. I looked at all the forums. Somebody said that they got theirs dorked by blowing in the game and the analog pocket. So
I believe
I believe it too. Totally.
Black Mac.
I totally tried and it didn't work. So I mean,
yeah, he was blowing all right while he was doing it.
Hey, you got to blow harder, dude. Blow harder.
Blow harder. I was blowing chunks. Is what I was doing, and so I only opened the one though because that was the first one I wanted to play, and then of course I went down an analog pocket rabbit hole because on the Internet Archive they have the all the different ROM dumps, and so I did all the homebrews for all the different consoles, and they don't have DX online, but they do have the demo, which was on the original Game Boy. So this is the game, like DX is the color version, but they did have. So I did play it on the analog pocket, so it does work. The ROM does work, the original ROM. But I would love for my game that I bought to work in my analog pocket. That'd be great. So, so far though, I feel like the packaging reminds me of Game Boy style. It's a little thinner, and I like it.
Yeah, it's a little slimmer, but it's very well done.
Yeah,
very well done.
I love it.
They have manuals in here as well. So they have a little plastic tray that keeps the form of the box, a little plastic tray, and they have the manual in there. They did black painting or black printing on the inside of the box to give it a nice little thing. The manuals are pretty cool. They do not have the actual shine on the manual though, like they do in the box. So they went normal, which is
understandable. That's fine.
Yeah,
and then,
for being competitors, they did an extremely good job. I love it.
And they did a little keychain, like the little cell phone charm. So I think the first releases will have that cell phone charm. And that's if you buy it from the Mod Retro website. And then all the games, they're different colors, too. So this one's clear. I think one's red. One. So they did different colors, too. So I feel like this is a badass release. I think that they did awesome. And the fact that they're actually at retail in GameStop is cool. I just wish they were on the damn shelves so people would see them. So that more people would
see
them.
If the GameStop employee would have done her job.
I've seen this systems, but I've never seen the games in there, like, ever.
And I've heard the same stories from others, too, is that they're not on the shelves at all. Because, like, in ours, if you walk into the right, the chromatics are behind, like, a glass case. There's no games. And I'm like, just put the games out. We literally saw this game out there. You would want it. Dragon.
Hell yeah,
It's
dude.
true. It's badass.
You know what it is? Is that they're allergic to money.
Yeah, they don't like.
I think GameStop is, yes. They've proven time and time again.
Yeah, they'd rather have Funko Pops out, essentially. Yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe if they sold the games in Funko Pop boxes.
That would make it, what would be interesting would be a Funko Pop with the game.
Or the game is built into the Funko Pop, and you pop the Funko Pop into the Funko Pop console.
Some old Game Boy Japanese games that remind me of something like that. I have one that's like this big blue cartridge that's super long. And it had some weird attachment at the top, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Is it like the Barcode Battler one or something?
No, it's probably something like that, but it's not that one.
Yeah, gotcha.
The Funko Pop to pop the pop for the pops. Pumps up. Yeah.
Did you get anything else for Chromatic?
So that is the first series for Chromatic. Those 6 games are the first set. There are more games that have been released, but I kind of waited to see because they touted on their website weekly new game releases, but they haven't had a new game since our first recording. So,
Yeah.
Obviously that's an unrealistic expectation as a publisher.
Yeah, it's really ambitious.
It's
really
that. And it's possible if you have that many developers working on something, so maybe they're just not that far along in the development process, so we want a game every week. That's a lot.
Everything's got to work out just right.
And then from the production perspective, to have all that stock coming in consistently,
Exactly.
That's insane. So, so they do have about 4 new games or something outside of those 6. But I was like, well, maybe they'll do a series 2 release, and I'll just save on one game or something. Because I saved one of those. I paid for 5, and you got one of them for free. So pretty cool. Yeah,
I like your pickups.
Yeah, and the only other stuff that I got in was modern Donkey Kong Country Returns, but then obviously they're still doing Nintendo Force on Patreon, so I got a Nintendo Force with.
Totally love that.
With
very nice.
So that's pretty cool. Outside of that, the only other thing that I got was something that Tristan sent me.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll wait until after I show off a couple of things here.
Exactly. I want to see some of the stuff that Tristan has.
So, as you know, I've got a couple books in the works. Besides the dictionary that I kickstarted last year and I'm finishing up. The next one
hold on, a dictionary?
Yeah, a video game dictionary. So all the lexicon that goes along.
I did not see this. I've been in games for so long, and I'm glad. It's impossible for one person to know everything that's coming out. And I even told other guys. Retro RGB and My Life in Gaming and Macho and there's so many different things coming from everybody. We're constantly finding new stuff. It's awesome. So I had no clue that you were working on a video game dictionary.
Yeah, it's pretty far along. I'm gonna finish it probably by the end of this month. I'll have it ready for Jeff.
I want a copy. Can I still back it? Can people still back it?
Yeah. You can still go on Kickstarter and do a late backer. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So we'll have to put that link in the description as well. Okay, cool. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. And there's even a tier where I allow backers to work with me on a custom definition. So you can define someone or something. It has to be in good spirits or whatever. It can't be mean spirited or whatever. So it's up to my discretion in the end. But it's just kind of a fun thing.
Love it.
So after the dictionary is complete, I'm also working on the definitive guide to video game trading cards. So I'm doing a deep dive into everything that's ever come out, and holy crap, have I learned a lot and acquired a lot in the process.
So everything from the old school Mario cards back in '86 to the stuff in the '90s and early 2000s,
and promo stuff that came in video games and in Nintendo Powers and everything.
And then going back to episode 1 of The Game Collectors, they put us both down this rabbit hole of these brand new Famicom cores that have been released. We got.
Oh my god! I was watching the episode. I need that box.
So send you some.
No.
I'll send you some.
Oh my God! I'm here. I saw the end of it. How you were talking about how there was one. I think it was. It would think it was the other side. How it was one per pack, or the 1 in a 9, and everything else.
That one.
Oh my God! It's like, but they look so cool though. And then
they're amazing.
The mashup ones too. I was like, I'm in trouble. I'm in my.
It's completely like obviously not sanctioned by Nintendo, but it's like one of the coolest things that someone's ever made. Nintendo.
Well, and Tristan sent me a link like last episode. I think it went up a little bit, but it was like $10 a box or something.
Yeah,
the whole box is $10.
But when you consider that, like, you get one chase pack per box, and there's like 125 chase cards to get, that'd be insane.
You're talking about a few thousand in cards to get everything.
I have spent a lot of money so far on that set.
So badass. So we're getting a trading card encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Is that what is it? What is going to be the fight? Do you have a title?
Yeah, I think so far the working title is The Definitive Guide to Video Game Trading Cards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so one thing that I knew that there was a series 2. We got those game packs, Nintendo game packs that had like the Double Dragon cards and the punch out scratch offs. You know what I'm talking about, right? And then they had stickers too. Well, Canada was the only one that got series 2. And they actually added Metroid in there as well. So, Series 1 in the US had 3 different pack variants. They had Zelda, or Link. I called him Zelda. Oh my gosh. Link. Mario, Princess Toadstool, and Link.
Mario.
And in this one, so these are actual sealed packs, Canadian, and they're O-Pee-Chee. So this is Mario. You've got Toadstool, and then Link also. But then they also made a Samus.
So obviously you are not opening any of these.
No, yeah, these are staying sealed.
But don't you want to see what cards are inside?
I've actually got an entire set coming. And I've got a card scanner off to my left that I'm scanning all of these cards into, and it's going to be very image heavy, but a whole lot of information on every single set, like why they existed, how they came out, all that good stuff. So that'll be fun. But I'm coming across a bunch of stuff that I don't need to on eBay, but I'm like, I want that, like a Gem Mint 10 AR card.
Oh Lord,
don't need that, but I love it.
I have like 10 of those.
Yeah,
dude. Tristan, did you ever get the giant AR card?
I did. Yeah, the poster.
Because I have it sitting somewhere. It's folded up still.
Yeah, I don't know that I still have it, because that was like a Club Nintendo thing, right?
Yes, it was.
It is. Yeah, I have a lot of weird shit like that
in the garage.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I don't think I still have it. Like, I probably gave it to someone at some point.
To see a picture of you in your book, like laying on it, like.
Yeah, use it as a blanket. I should make a blanket.
He's got to be, you got to be like that. He's got to be like that Asian guy that has like the cups. He's all naked. That he takes everything off. So we got to see Tristan do that.
No one wants to see that.
I don't think we get
to
see Tristan getting naked here.
Yeah. I'm trying to sell books, dude. Not scare people.
Trying to sell books, not get arrested.
Yeah.
So who? We've just changed the clientele for Tristan's.
Yeah, what's my demographic now? I don't know.
His demos have changed now. Hey, so we talked about in the neighborhood, just make sure you have your foot smashing a banana. You'll sell a lot of books. The foot smashing a banana.
So gross.
Like,
man, seeing that AR card gives me so much hope that, I mean, I loved my 3DS, or all of them, because I have like 30 of them. So I'm hoping that Nintendo does right and brings back some of the things that we loved on there.
Bring it back.
Yes, but onto the Switch. I mean, there was so much community and interactiveness, that we could say.
You come at a convention, he's bringing you 3DS and like just forward these like street passes. It was so
every time I would go with the kids to MegaCon, we would have all our 3DSs, and every like hour and a half, we would stop and collect 150, people. It was crazy.
That was the biggest mistake, was bringing my 3DS to Midwest Gaming Classic back in the day. Every 2 steps filled it up, and you have to click through the 10.
Yeah,
and it fills the outline.
I wouldn't do it that. So we would stop like every hour and a half or so on the coast leg to do it.
No, like, I don't know if they changed it, but when I was at Midwest Gaming Classic with mine, it taps out at 10 until you click through it.
Yeah, it was 10. Yeah.
100. It wouldn't let you gather 100. And so, like, I was just sitting there like, holy shit. I just realized this is going to be my life at the convention, so I just put it away. I'm like, it was too much, man. But it was...
But no, it'll be beautiful if they were to bring something. I mean, give me 10% of that. I actually love... the no lie, the Me games were some of the things I played the most.
My 3D, dude. It was so fun.
My daughter is, she's playing her 3DS, and she's playing Metopia right now. Like, literally, that's what she's playing right now while we're recording.
At one point, I in my office, because I would spend so much time in my office, I used to have an office in downtown Miami. At one point, an extra Mac that I had, I actually set it up as a 3DS Street Pass hotspot, because there was instructions to do that online. So it would always catch a ton of people. So I was always getting them, all day, every day. I loved it doing that. I had that both actually at home and in my office.
That's cool.
So when I was traveling all over the world in the Air Force, I brought the 3DS with me. So I have street passes from all over the world. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It was pretty cool. Anyway, so next up, one thing that I found on eBay, so there's this set called Team Blockbuster, and these cards, they would give out a random Team Blockbuster card. There's 50 in the set. They would give them out with like game rentals, and you never knew what you were going to get, because like from the factory, whenever they sent them to Blockbuster, they just got these sealed bricks, like in sealed in cellophane. And it's not like they got all of the cards in that cellophane. It was random, like the track printing. Yeah, the track printing was really weird. I know this because I've opened 20 of those sealed bricks now, and there's no rhyme or reason as to which cards you're going to get. Well, I was able to put together, right now I have 11 sets together of the 50 cards. So, I mean, like,
one of those sets, all
sorts of stuff. I mean,
those are cool though.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're really cool.
And like, what would it feature? What would it, give us a sneak preview? What would it feature some of the art? I saw an Ariel there.
Yes, flat Ariel, Skulljack.
Oh, on the game.
Batman Returns, Run Saber, Battletoads. Let me just skip to some of the highlights here.
Genesis, Super Nintendo. You got some
Cool Spot. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. And then like on the back, they have tips and stuff.
Oh, see, that's super cool.
Yeah.
So wait, really I saw it said there's series 1. So how many series in total were there? Or they only had one?
Just one.
So they had plans for more, and it just stopped.
Super Strike Eagle, Terminator 2 arcade game.
Are those just console, or they got the handhelds in there too?
Hyperstone Heist. I think it's just console.
Well, no, because I saw Ariel the Little Mermaid, which was a Game Gear game.
That's Genesis too.
Oh no, yeah. What was this?
I only had it on Game Gear.
I wrote a book on it, so
yeah. Like, I think the screenshot is the Genesis one.
Yeah.
But then, like, so there's no rhyme or reason as to what cards you're going to get in those bricks. You'll get like 2 of something, and then like 25 of another one in the same brick. So I think I'm sitting on like 120 like Streets of Rage 2 cards or something.
Hey, they're a game.
Yeah, no. Hey, good one to have. So yeah, that's a really cool set. And then I also picked up a box of sealed Zap packs.
Oh. Remember those?
Yep. I've only opened 1 pack of these before, so I'm actually thinking about cracking these and like recording it on YouTube.
Yeah, that'll be good. You should.
Yeah,
1,000%.
Yeah.
Even YouTube Shorts doing one at a time.
Yep. And then one last thing, and this is pretty cool. So as you know, and this is actually pretty a good transition that you said earlier. You were in the toy biz, and you got into video games. Well, what company famously did the same exact thing? Nintendo. They were a toy company first, but they also made playing cards.
Well, they were a playing card company first, then they
And that's toy company, and you're right.
Yes. Toys were in the 60s and 70s, and then they jumped into games.
I picked up some Nintendo playing cards.
Nice.
And this so happens to be, so it's called a Miracle Box. This is actually a magic trick where someone takes a card out, they put it back in here, and then whenever you open up the thing, I didn't do it right, but their card lifts out of the deck, and only their card, whenever you open this box up.
Huh.
So I've got a red deck.
It came in that box?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Those are cool.
Yeah, I think this one's somewhat sealed. I don't want to take this out of here because the cellophane's like falling apart, but you can kind of see. Yeah.
There's an amazing account. This gentleman, he's on X. His name is Before Mario. Has an absolutely incredible collection of Nintendo's toys and everything. They were just recent. Him and several other gentlemen just recently went to the museum opening. The guy's collection, I am super envious. It's so beautifully curated. Everything is in amazing condition. As a toy aficionado, I love seeing all those different things, not just because it's Nintendo, but just the old school toy aspect of it. Because they don't make toys the same way, even from like what we had in the 80s, so going back 10, 20, years before that, it's even more different before the advent of personal computers and, electronics, the way, because it was really in the 80s that personal electronics blew up. So, the way the toys were done before that, there's such a finesse to the design, and Nintendo, the way they did them.
They were geniuses, man. I mean, like,
absolutely beautiful.
Those guys, like, I wish like Gunpei Yokoi and all those like R&D guys were still alive, because they'd be coming out with just amazing stuff. They always did.
It would be. So yes, if you don't follow him, definitely give him a follow. Absolutely super cool.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because so I've got my game collector field guide, which I came out with. It shipped to me end of last year. But my first book was a console collector's field guide. And in order to get artwork for the Nintendo stuff, I reached out to them and they gave me permission to use their pictures in my book.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
They do great photography. He has it perfectly well lit and everything. Oh, so good.
Yep.
So good.
So the early Nintendo consoles, like the Pong consoles and stuff, are actually from him in my book.
Nice. Those are three things that I desperately want to get. I can't remember. I think it's what's called the Nintendo Game 15 or something like that.
Well, there's 5 of them.
Yeah, but I've had the opportunity to buy a couple, but they've been in really, really bad shape. So I'm like, no, I need it pristine because I actually want to play, and I'll look it up and
for sure. Yeah.
So, that's awesome, bro. So are you including the playing cards that you just showed in the book, or that it just
just
grab that?
As I mentioned, just because it's adjacent, it's video game card adjacent.
Awesome. Okay, very cool.
Not trading card, obviously,
but I mean, Hanafuda. They also did Hanafuda cards.
And I will mention the Hanafuda as well, of course.
I have a few of the sets, but they're in storage.
Yeah, and I'll
take some pictures.
It's somewhere. It's so you can see it. Right. I'm not pointing that way. No, there it goes.
Oh yeah,
Famicom. That's right there. There you go. Right there. My finger is. There's the Hanafuda set right there.
Okay, which Hanafuda set is it? The re-release? The
that was the Club Nintendo one.
Oh, okay, yeah. I have that, but I also have some of the original Hanafudas from back in the day before Nintendo.
I've looked to buy some. They get pricey.
They don't pop up.
No. So I actually showed the kids, the two oldest, how to play Hanafuda with the original set. And now, I mean, just because the scoring is such a pain in the butt, so the 51 game classics that's on the Switch, we play using that. I play that so much. It actually shows up on my, how they do the Switch and review at the end of each year. It always shows up on mine.
Hey Tristan, so he's the only one in the world that plays that game. He's the only one.
I actually think that Ian from Pat the NES, the NES Punk podcast,
Yes.
plays that too.
I love the game. It's a great game. I don't know why more.
Well, now you've got me wanting to play it now.
You know what? It's very easy to learn, but because of the design of the cards, you have to learn the 12 months. That's why I love playing it on the Switch, because it does the scoring for you. But if you play, 20, 30 games, you quickly start to pick up the, what you want to score with. So,
Yeah.
I do. I'm a dork. I love playing it.
So I've got one final thing. And Natalie and I went to an antique mall, and I love like old timey stuff, especially skeleton keys. So I found these two, and I found this one.
That's it.
And then I also found a boss key.
No. Oh, heck yeah. That's
Yeah.
It's funny that you showed those off, because our kids still give us their Christmas lists, and they're 14, 16, and 18 now. They just turned 16 and 18. They were 13, 15, 17 just a few months ago. And the middle one, part of her list was skeleton keys. She wanted all
that's
skeleton
so cool.
keys. So I was all over eBay, online, everything. I bought her like 50 different keys. I just thought, some were like $3, others were like 10. And I picked them. So I gave her this huge box of them, and she loved them. So it's
that's dope.
They're really cool. I love it. I love that you picked those up. I love that boss key. I'm gonna find one of those for her. It's gonna flip out.
That is dope.
Awesome.
So
you know what? I did have one pickup. Hold on.
See, there we go. We had to have Ariel. See, we had to pop his cherry here, Tristan, as you love that turn. His cherry has popped. His officially popped. He now realizes, I actually did get a pickup, because he did. Now, technically, Tristan, we did talk a little bit about projects too. So I think with this episode, for the listeners, because we're doing a little dead time now. I think what we'll do is we won't do the timeline this episode. Otherwise, we'll be here for like 5 hours.
Sorry, I should have had this ready beforehand. I didn't even think of this stuff.
Okay.
You're good, dude.
We were making sure that the listeners understand that we're not going to do the timeline, the news timeline, because it'll probably be a 5-hour podcast.
Yeah.
And we're going to finish up pickups. We'll move into some projects, and then we'll talk like upcoming physical releases.
So I mean, I'm always buying NES games. So even though I have a full collection worldwide, but I got 3 amazing cartridges here. I got baseball, I got 10. And I got Ninja Gaiden. Obviously, the label stuff that I'm doing, this is why I picked them up, because I'm going to refurbish these to be beer, feel brand new.
Hey, wait, Ariel, what are you talking about? Maybe you should tell us about these labels.
I will in a minute, definitely.
Transition. No, full transition.
Yes, that's true. Then one of another cool YouTuber that you guys should follow. He hasn't done some stuff in a while, but he'll hopefully pick back up. He's a really funny guy. His name is 8-Bit Esquire. He's a lawyer that does retro stuff. So he was he was just trimming down part of the collection. So I picked up, a couple of, right off of him. And then just because I never had them and I've been trying to find them, I actually got the FDS for Super Mario Bros. 2 and for Legend of Zelda.
Nice.
And just so you know, from a collector perspective, there are outer cases to those that you could also find with manuals. So
yes, but yeah. So this one has the full outer case. See,
nice. Yeah,
and this one is just the. Yeah, I think this was just
it. I couldn't tell with the picture, but yeah. So inside that, so what we're talking about for those that listen to audio only is that with the Famicom disc system, you're going to see the little plastic cases that the disc goes into, and it shows the artwork of like Mario 2 or Zelda 2 that Ariel's showing us. But also, there's an extra little case that goes in, and then the manual goes behind it. It's like a little like cloudy looking case. It has like a little
like ridges on it too. Yeah,
exactly.
Feels cool. So that's from a collector perspective. Those did come sticker sealed as well. So when the seal there's like a little seal on them as well. So
since I actually have a working FDS because I had it, professionally refurbished, a couple years back, new belts and everything. I was like, gotta get it. Even though I have an FDS key now. Do you guys have FDS keys? Do you know what an FDS key is?
I know what an FDS key is, but I do not have one.
Oh, you have.
I have a Famicom Twin.
Okay, so the FDS key.
The FDS key is a different little interesting piece.
It's a very interesting piece. It's one. Here we go. It's one of these. It's this awesome little electronic device. It basically acts like an ODE for your Famicom disk system.
Cool.
And it connects right to the FDS. It connects right to your Famicom. And it replaces the FDS. Every single game that you had that came out on the FDS, you can play right off of this. Boom. This one was done by an amazing guy out of China. His name, or Taiwan? I can't remember. Sorry. His name is JT Studio. They do awesome work. He's done several different pieces for the PS2, for the Famicom, different systems. If you just do a Google look up JT Studio, he has a bunch of different things like this. I got this one from him. I think it was only like $35 to be honest. $40. So yeah, no, that's amazing little piece. So
we definitely need to link everybody to that because
oh my God, you're gonna have like 30 links.
And Tristan and I may buy one. But also, that's very reminiscent of what they released for the Commodore 64. They have like a little version of it, and it was like you connect it to the port of the Commodore, and it emulates the disk drive, but you put a little SD card in it, and it plays all the Commodore games.
Yeah.
So that's super interesting because that helps with preservation, allows you to play on the original hardware on original TVs. So that's a really cool version.
Yeah, if you're talking about upcoming releases, we can remind me. FDS game, first new FDS game in 30-something years.
Oh, well.
Maybe not in 30-something years, but in maybe the last couple years.
No, I think that maybe. I don't know. What do I know? Yes, something like that. Okay, so you want me to show So do you really want me to show what the things that some of these? All right,
So let's transition to projects that we've worked on, because I do have something that Tristan gave me, and I got something to show off, and I got a talk me out of it, Tristan, which we'll explain later. I do have one today first, which is
piqued my curiosity.
I want dumb new shit, and Tristan has to talk me out of it. Now let's talk me out of it, Ariel and Tristan. But usually he talks me into it unless I'm already out of it. But we will transition into cool shit that we have made. Tristan has already alluded to working on his trading card book, which is, hand in hand with this pickups, which makes sense. So it's a perfect time to transition, specifically because you showed those Nintendo cartridges, and it goes in line with some cool shit you're making, Ariel.
Yeah. Oh, so you want me to go first?
Of course. You got the perfect transition.
All right, hold on. Let me bring this over closer. So I'm not going on camera so much, so I don't look ridiculous.
This is a cool order.
No, so I mentioned earlier in the cast, collaborating now with Jonathan Danilo. And it's some stuff that I've done before. But the combination of his expertise with setting up other labels that he's done, because like I mentioned, he's been doing the NES ones and everything. So he already had a great collection of artwork that he's already, been retouching, remastering and whatnot. So, we basically now have been redoing, I have this one in plastic, but redoing some of the labels here. Actually, let me take it out. I can't be bougie like that. Oh,
you are so bougie.
Because I haven't washed my hands. I don't want the oils on my hands to touch it, but whatever. I can make more. Exactly. I can make more. I'm making, but that's the stuff. So, I hope this translates well to camera. I have posted it. Hold on. Let me see.
Well, yeah, even the photos you're showing off on Facebook are just ridiculous.
Yeah, you can see that shine compared to an original. Actually, hold on. I have one.
So for those that are listening audio only too, is if you have seen Ariel, you have seen his stuff on Twitter or on Facebook showing the glossy sheen of these labels along with the definition around the the titles and the text and the art. There's definition on it. It's like a tactile feel because
Yeah, it's like embossed and stuff. I mean, well, I
build these labels in Vector to make sure that they super pop, and then he adds these different types of shine to them that just make it look impressive.
Yeah, great. So here's the original one. As you can tell, I mean, it's still this card is in great condition because I like my stuff in great condition. So you can see, especially from the light, you can see the shine is still there. So, but you can tell it's just a regular, it's just a regular label. There's not much to it. Where when you look at it, you can see how specifically, the light is bouncing off the sword and everything. There you go. See, so you see how, there you go. So you see all those bumps, how it's coming out off of the top of the label. That's all a separate layer of printing that we're doing with each one of them.
That's so cool.
So I have that one. I have.
That is a painstaking process to make these things look badass.
It actually is. Each label does take a few hours to prep. So imagine how many different NES games there are, and we're getting requests. We are literally getting requests for games that we haven't done yet.
Including myself, a custom one that I talked to you about.
Yes, correct. So see, I mean, we know what the shield looks like. You see how the light's bouncing off of all the different parts of the shield, because it's all a 3D effect that's coming right off of it. It's absolutely spectacular. So at this point, we've done, I think, close to 40 games. We've done 40 games so far that he has up on the shop. So when have you ever seen Duck Hunt shine like that? See that blue, how that pops? Look at that.
Never.
Yeah.
Only when the dog laughs at us is when we see that shine.
Yeah.
So, and so that's the cool thing is you got the holographic texture too. It looks so cool.
Yeah, it's a combination of everything. So you see how the light bounces off of that thing? It's absolutely beautiful. So I had those other ones. So Ninja, we finished all the Mega Mans. We have Mega Mans 1 through 6. Here's
the best Mega.
I wish there was a better way to show this off. I mean, you can see how it shimmers there like that.
Yeah.
And then what's cool is that if you notice all the different elements in the artwork, we're not just doing like a blanket look on it. See, so like Mega Man is popping out. You see Metal Man cut. They're popping out. Same thing with 3. See all of it there.
So did you say that is not your Etsy shop? That's his.
It's his Etsy shop. Yes, I'm doing the printing, but he's running the shop.
Gotcha. Yeah, I just put in an order for both of those Zelda labels either yesterday or the day before. So I was like, Ariel's going to see that I put it in order, but no, if it's not yours.
Oh, no. I do see it. I do have access to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll see my name on there.
Awesome. So one of my absolute favorites, because for me, it's a top 10 NES game, Bubble Bobble.
Yeah.
See how that shines? Look at it. It's beautiful. Bob and Bob next to all the...
Well, especially those labels that have the notoriously bad white labels are going to look amazing. Because that right there, because the white on the outside of the red on the Bubble Bobble is now a silver shine with freaking all of a sudden rainbow effect.
Yeah.
Always a favor for everybody. Super C.
Contra.
Yes, sir.
C's and the Contras. You got your Tom Dubois artwork that just pops.
I have all of those. And it was funny because I was talking about, I mean, we were planning to do it at some point, but the request pushed it up to the front of the line. Guardian Legend. It's not one of those. It's not one that you decide to do first all of a sudden, but we were doing that one. Obviously, a favorite for a lot of people is Rygar. So we got Rygar Academy. And then I did. So obviously, we tackled, some all-time favorites first. So we have all 3. I don't have the first one here because I printed it and sent it. We have all the Double Dragons.
Double Dragon 2.
Yes, it has that.
It's one of my top games.
Right there, you see, we actually recreated all the art in Vector, as you can see, to make it all pop. This one looks absolutely beautiful.
And that's like, if listeners don't understand how painstaking Vector art can be to create from scratch, it takes a long time to get it right.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you get it perfect. Because if you're doing vector art, you want to make sure it's perfect.
And to get it like the Ninja Gaiden that he just showed, where you want everything to pop with the flames to get the
you see
to it.
That's exactly it. We have all those different parts that
That's amazing.
Yeah, I don't want to sell junk, so, and we did them all.
Definitely don't.
We did all 3 Ninja Gaidens, we did all 3 Double Dragons. We did.
He did. Yeah, he did. He just dimed himself out.
The New Yorker just came out of you. He said the Gaiden. Make my
It's
day.
okay. I'm gonna say hella at some point. So
We got both Metroids, both the yellow and the original one. Got here. I might as well just show them all together. Got all 3. Got all 3 Castlevanias. Yeah, no, I mean there's we're literally adding more every week.
So, those are obviously like custom cut. Can you cut custom shapes as well?
Yes. Yeah, no, I can do any. Well, I do other stickers and stuff.
Yeah.
So this kind of like grew out of my main design studio. The name is Pixel Warps.
Mm-hmm.
It combines 2 of my favorite things, sci-fi and gaming. So the pixel art from gaming, warp speed from sci-fi, combine those 2 things. I've been running that studio now for the last 12, 13 years. So then approximately around 7 years ago, my wife and I started adding, merchandise and apparel to, we would always design it, but it's not something that we would make ourselves. We actually started making it. So we added that division to the company, to the studio, and that's called Artistic Pixels 305. So Artistic Pixels, then that, I've done on the corporate side, we've done, apparel and merchandise for a number of different, game companies, just regular and regular other clients, because I mentioned it previously, but, aside from the games and the toys, we have other stuff that, that we've done for finance companies, for jewelry companies, lingerie. I do stuff for, spirits makers. I'm always walking out with booze every time. So we've done a lot of stuff for those clients. Yes, I will send you some. But on the game side, yes, on the game side, we've done stuff. We've developed, merchandise and some toys and whatnot for, games for companies like Limited Run. I did some stuff for Skydance, doing stuff now for Rocket and Argonaut. Going to be working. Well, I can't say that one yet. Can't say that one yet. But they're already.
You're talking about.
Yes, you do. Already launched some apparel that we're doing with PM Studios. So that stuff is already up on the site. So a variety of different, game developers and publishers that we're doing stuff for. So that eventually turned into the website artisticpixels305.com, and on there, because I love being part of the retro community, love trying to get stuff out for everybody there. I started reaching out to some of these other channels and stuff, because there's other companies out there that do merchandise fulfillment, apparel and whatnot, but the quality is not the greatest. And it's not something that we like. The quality is not the greatest, and the payouts are not the greatest. So we I started literally, I will give all the credit in the world. I started with Retro RGB. He was the very first channel that we did some stuff with for, I did a custom design for him and, the fighting game community. So that was the very first piece we did. He loved the quality, how it came out. I started doing all his other designs and, started selling him, put him up. And then from there, it's grown into, other parts, of the retro community as well. So, I do, like I mentioned earlier. Yeah. Well, no, I didn't mention earlier, but I was on My Life in Gaming because we started doing their apparel. So, I've designed a bunch of their apparel, shirts and whatnot. Recently now, back at Retro World Expo, we launched the line for Tito Macho Nacho Productions. Amazing, absolutely badass modder that he does stuff. You definitely got to follow his channel if you don't. Another great one is Retrotech Steve. He does everything CRTs, absolutely master of the craft of restoring CRTs and, fixing them, everything, whatnot.
Where's he based out of?
He's based out of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
He's based out of Pennsylvania. Tito, I know where he's based out of, but I'm not going to make it public. But he's on the eastern side of the United States.
In the Cayman Islands.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, no. So both of them doing some stuff for 8-Bit Esquire, and then other modders in the community, and hardware makers as well. Humble Bazooka that makes these absolutely amazing adapters and whatnot for all the systems that we love. I do some stuff for him. Do some stuff for iFix Retro, the absolutely best repair guy that I know. I not to knock other people, because I know there's some other awesome modders and repair guys too, like Voltar and whatnot. But I send all of my stuff to Ben. He's absolutely amazing with the work that he does. So I don't want to keep on rolling with every name, but all of those different things are, I help, design some, merchandise and apparel, and they're all, we distribute it and make it all from artisticpixels305.com. So, all of that turned into.
The neat thing is for the listeners is that Ariel's going to get me all these links to put in the show notes. That's on the hip. Yes. They get a nice thing. 100 people he just mentioned, he's going to get me the Rolodex.
I was actually going to, Ariel, can you put a list of all of those and websites? I would love to actually put links of those on my website. Because I've been trying to put some sort of repository of that kind of stuff, but there's so many unknowns. I mean, literally 75% of the stuff you just listed, I've never heard of. So, and that's a problem, right? Yeah.
It's amazing because as big as the community is, how we see it from inside it, there's still other parts of gaming, other people in gaming that don't know about them. And it's funny because, these aren't small guys, they have great channels. My Life in Gaming has, 350,000, I don't know, something like that. Tito, another 300,000. Bob has 100,000.
So it's a lot of the things to put into perspective, though. No matter what you do, there's still going to be people that don't know about you. Exactly. But it's like people who have never heard of premium edition games when we're selling over $5 million worth of stock a year of games. True. And people, I've never heard of premiums. Dude, we had millions of dollars in sales the other year. I don't own it anymore. So it's not my beast anymore. But premium is huge, and people, I never heard of these games, and I'm like, that's kind of the point, though, is to get these indie games out there. These YouTubers and these modders, some of them are under the radar. So if you're not part of that community, you haven't heard of them.
Exactly.
And what's really cool is that all of them are, either tangentially or directly. Contributing to preservation, making sure that all these systems, the displays that we still play them on, everything is still going to be good for us, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now. So it's absolutely awesome. I've also done some stuff for Mike Chi with RetroTink. The RetroTink boxes, that now we can connect them to our modern displays and literally connect. I think I had yet to find one console that I cannot connect to it.
You'll want 4K so bad.
The original. I got the original RetroTink when he did the demo. I
think I've got the 5X.
I have a 5X and I have a 4K. Absolute the best pieces of tech. So masterfully designed. I mean, you cannot go. It is worth every dollar.
I absolutely love that I can use my SCART cables now. I mean, yeah.
So all of those parts of the community, different facets of the community, all have come together, in these circles that we follow on X, on Discord, on Facebook and whatnot. And I like being a part. I like giving back to that. So I work with some of the big guys. I've done stuff with Disney. I've done stuff with Marvel. Other toy companies and whatnot. But I like being down, on the ground with, creating from the get-go.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think with the podcast too, we can let the listeners and as we share things, because like the YouTube channel, because we're only doing like a monthly podcast, we're not going to be friendly to the algorithm. Like we're gonna have people that find us because they want to hear about game collecting. So if you want us to talk about one of these as a full subject of an episode, just let us know in the comments. Let us know on social media. We'll pick it up. Trust me. And we will make a retro sync episode. We'll make an episode on some of these different mods, because like I've had stuff modded. Arrow's had a shit ton of stuff modded. Tristan's had stuff modded. Like we can go off on some tangents for sure. And because it's Arrow's first episode, like he's also telling us a little bit of his Rolodex, which is good. It's very important to do. Okay, so it lets people get to know like a little bit of some of the stuff you've done. And yeah, just a little. And like Tristan and I have been in the community and doing the podcasting for a while, so some of the people know us, but the game collectors is still kind of new. So
yes,
man.
So, and this is a part of collecting. I mean, it's like
networking is so important in this hobby. It's so important.
And it's not just that. If you have, no matter what games you have, there's no wrong or right way to collect. Some people love a sealed box, that's graded, or, graded or not graded, whatever. They love it sealed, they'll never open it. Other people, they have to have the complete in box, so that way they can still play it, but they still love, they still want, some of the cardboard and whatnot. And, and then other people
realize, one thing I've realized too is that situation and budget dependent. So it's what you can afford, but also situation. Like I've had to move every year for the last 8 years, so all of my stuff's like in storage, but I've changed the way that I currently collect and play. But I haven't gotten rid of my old ways, my classic ways.
Yes,
but like the way I play right now is much different and tailored and smaller than what I have in the past. And it's situation and budget dependent. So even if you can't afford to get all the still stuff and all the things, you're not wrong. It's just not what you can do.
And some people have just a loose collection, where they'll buy, whatever games they have. So if I can create, and have them refurbish a beautiful game, because if they have the Zelda version of this, I can help them turn it into this. You can keep the old shell, so you're not gonna, so you don't lose the authenticity of it, But it's just my way. It's just one way of helping. I can't mod because I can solder. I wish I could. I know the very, very basics of it, and I should practice it some more. But I would rather pay someone that will do an excellent, amazing job. Versus me trashing half my console, probably trying to fix it or something like that.
So Ariel, you said that there's no wrong way to collect, and I totally agree with you. But there's one thing that I ask no one does: don't call stuff minty. I hate it.
Oh, okay. I mean, okay.
That's all I got.
This is minty.
Get out of here.
Minty.
But it's brand. I mean, it's a brand new piece that I just made.
I know.
Oh, and I also have. And I also have the labels for the back too, so provide a completely perfect brand new cartridge.
Oh, and Jeff, speaking of premium edition, so you know how I like to make extra stuff just on my own out of nowhere.
Yeah, because you have a sickness, and they only care for that sickness.
Yeah, I can't not make stuff. I got it from my dad, and I blame him. But anyway, so I haven't even showed you this. I'm going to send one of these to you, obviously, but for every single game we make, I plan on making 11 of these. I made some custom cards.
Look at you going on magic on us there. Yu-Gi-Oh!
We've got these sort of premium edition games here.
So
yeah.
Dope.
Those are hot.
And every game's going to have a card just for us, not for like customers or anything, obviously.
Yeah, because I mean, we do the challenge cards listed. Give us a challenge, and then you get your free patch for all that. But that goes in the game. That goes inside the case, the retail case. So that is cool shit, though. So I do have some cool shit that I have made. So it's my turn to jump onto the rabbit hole down the rabbit hole.
Go for it.
All for it. So the first thing is, since we've had one episode, I did make some cool ass the game collector merch.
Oh, I love that.
This is a slate coaster that has the backings on it, And it's just the logo you see on the episode. And so I'm gonna make one for the hosts now. For the Patreon subscribers, if you're a producer or executive producer, I am doing quarterly cool shit. Something like this may go into your quarterly cool shit.
I like it.
Yeah, on that same note, I mean, we sent to the first person that signed up for our Patreon, I sent a special one of those family computer cards, those like Chinese knockoff cards. But I plan on sending some like random trading cards as I get them to Patreon folks as well.
Do I need to be contributing then? Because I mean, I got some cool stuff.
So yeah, I'm just gonna send you stuff anyway.
No, but I don't know. For the features.
Around, yeah, you can if you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
Currently, we have 4 executive producers, which they are supporting. About a cup of coffee a month is what the executive producers and
I will definitely hook them up because if they're supporting us, we want to support back.
And the main cool thing that they get for the executive producers, outside of having their name called at the end of this episode, because at the end of every new episode that we do, we will give them a shout out by name. But at the end of the year, they are going to get an exclusive wooden book cover of one of my books. It is only for Patreon subscribers, for the executive producers. And they get to choose the book. So if they want to go to one of my old legacy books from like 10 years ago and like, hey, I want this.
Oh, that's so cool.
I will do it. Because I'm going to have to recreate it with Vector. I'm probably have to get some pointers from Ariel to make sure it's perfect. But because I have my own tooling at the house now. That's how I made the Game Collectors. And in order to make it right, I'm gonna have to make sure that the artwork, especially Baby's older artwork, looks badass.
Yes, we will make sure you are perfectly supported there.
Exactly, and it goes into one of the new things for this month. And it goes to the current thing that I pushed out to the Patreon subscribers. I had the second phase of my Metroidvania Chronicles come in, and it is in shipping now.
Yeah, bunny.
And what I had offered to them is, do you want to upgrade to have a signed copy of the limited edition slipcase? So I have the limited edition slipcases, and that's not only for Volume 1, but also Volume 2. So
you're making such badass books.
And so this is Volume 1. Let's show Volume 1.
I want to see
one of the Metroidvania Chronicles. This is the limited edition slipcase. This is done by Phil Summers, who just had the Mega Man book.
Dude, that looks awesome.
So
I love that artwork.
The games that are covered. So Phil Summers just did the Kickstarter with Bitmap Books for the Mega Man, the officially licensed Mega Man.
Yeah.
He did this artwork. And so it has some of the games, a collage of it. And then the actual cover was done by Nick Huddleston that has a collage of 4 of the games in it as a badass cover for the Metroidvania. That is so fun.
Huddleston does some amazing artwork.
Yeah. And so I've been signing this for people here. I say support indie on it and sign it for you. I'll sign on the inside of the book. And then Volume 2 came out. And Volume 2 is done by Thor Thorvaldsen, who has done a lot of work with Hardcore Gaming 101, a lot of other different projects. And so this has Sophia in here from Blaster Master. You got the Metroid Queen from Metroid 2.
That looks so good.
Versions. And we've got so many. You got Cathedral here, Premium Edition Games release. And
nice.
They did the art for this. And this one has a little time spinner in here, along with some Blaster Master on the cover. And so I will also sign these. So we've had people that have been upgrading. I have had to sign over 100 books in the last week where I've been signing them. You're probably doing them. So Volume 1 and Volume 2 fit together perfectly on the bookshelf. They got different colors on there. Phase 1, Phase 2.
I definitely need to get that.
And there are other games like Sydney Hunter in here, which is a Collector Vision Games, John Lester, Games 31.
Yeah.
There's an Easter egg.
And then you got the mechanical Metroid, Mechanical Ridley from the Metroid Zero Mission on the Game Boy Advance. You got Shantae on here too. So there's so many cool ones. And then of course there's lots of treats on here on the one from the Volume 1 as well that, a Phil Severs day. So these are in shipping. I opened it up to the Patreon subscribers because the Volume 2 slipcase is not for sale online. So Patreon subscribers have a first dibs. The limited editions of this are also not online, just the regular version of this version.
If I wanted to buy the limited edition, I can't.
All you got to do is hit me up. That's what people have been doing. I've been doing it right now on the slide because I am personally fulfilling all these right now from the house.
You're a very busy bee.
Very busy because I'm also working on a couple other things. I am working on, if you know DJ Medina Sarumaru, who had programmed the game FX Unit Yuki on the TurboGrafx 16 and Sega Genesis, the homebrew game. He had done the artwork for my pocket guide of the complete Super Nintendo, the complete SNES. Just trying to mess with you now. But the complete SNES book that I did, the pocket guide had his artwork on it. Well, I had deleted all of the extra stuff out of there, all the stories, all the things to keep it as pocket as possible. And I forgot to give him a shout out in there. So I decided that I am doing a limited edition dust sleeve that goes over the definitive 630-page hardcover complete Super Nintendo book. It is at the house. I have them. So I'm doing 100 copies, limited dust sleeves, and if all goes well, I might be able to get my butt out to Game On Expo this year in April, and Sarumaru is going to be there, and we might do a couple Halocype sign-ins, live sign-up for 4 people. And that will also be open to Patreon subscribers. So that's a cool thing that I have going on. I haven't actually assembled them yet, so I don't have it to show off, maybe the next episode, but I do have something here. One thing, so as people get in their Metroidvania Chronicles, I have patches. And you can see a similar thing as the game collectors, a little Hawaiian thing in there. But if you share the book, take a picture of it, and share the link for HagensAlley.com, once you get your books in, I will mail you this for free. I will send this to you in the mail. So cool. Anybody who does that. But that isn't the super secret thing that I alluded to at the beginning of the episode that I would show off. I have something here that I haven't showed off online and that I haven't showed off to anybody yet. And it is in my hands right here. Tristan doesn't even know about this. This is good. I have the complete Genesis in my hands.
Oh, very nice.
And this is also Sora Thorvaldsen. Size.
Hell yeah, dude.
You haven't shown those at all yet. Dude, that thing is huge.
And this is the normal size of my complete series. So this right here, Thor Thorvaldsen did this years ago for me. This book took me 7 years to make. This is the limited slipcase, and it does have some awesome, it has soft touch here along with the shiny. And then, of course, I have...
Love that.
So this is the Thor Thorvaldsen cover, and I made it look like a classic Genesis cover on it. And of course, Sonic.
So you could sign that copy right there and send it to me.
This is the advanced copy. This is the only copy right now that exists. So what they do is in printing, they do a copy of it that they send to me to check for errors, to check the quality and everything. And then they are now in bulk printing. But just to go back, to when Tristan was showing off the cards, that is exactly how I know that Ariel was released on the Sega Genesis. She is right here. So I did not make this abridged because I started to do some things abridged. I wrote all the reviews of all the games in here. So there's a little quick write-up on each one along with the screenshot and the box art and the players and everything. So this book is freaking amazing. It is, let's see, about 400 pages. Now, with my original Nintendo book, I had done the complete NES, the Nintendo Compendium, which was a compendium of personal stories about the Nintendo. In the back of this book, there is the compendium. So this is the complete Genesis. That's Russ Lineman as a kid playing, one of the YouTubers, Russ Lineman, playing Nintendo in Genesis as a kid. I got some people that share some crazy ass stories in here, really fun stuff, talking about it. Like for example, I used to play the Sega Genesis with my cousin Kyle from VGBS on his cabin. I actually have a picture of the cabin here in the front, in the intro. So I'm talking about like the good times.
This is an incredible amount of work, dude. That is amazing. 7 years?
And it's not just licensed Sega, but also I have all the sports games listed out. So every single sports game, I have it separate. I have all the exclusive PAL exclusive games. I have a highlight of all of the Mega Drive Japanese games. I have all of the aftermarket games, the bootleg games that were in Japan, as well as the selected homebrew games for the Sega Genesis. Like, it is literally everything you could ever want on the Sega Genesis here in this one book. This is a big honker. That's all that Tristan and I know how to do, is make things that you can literally like lift with and like get a bicep curl with.
Scope creep is real, man.
Dude. And so the next book,
7 years.
7 years. So like I have been working on this sucker. The next book in the series is the complete TurboGrafx 16 and PC Engine.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That is the next one. And so that'll be the one I'm working on next. I'm going a lot more artsy with this one too. So I've been working on it. And I'm actually already done with the licensed US turbo section. I already have it written in like a month because I got crazy over the holidays. But it does.
Are you including CD in there?
Of course. And PCFX, because I'm crazy.
Super Graphics? The 6 games that they...
Yeah, I'm going to cover everything. And so the one thing is, I had people ask me, but there was a stretch goal for this book on Kickstarter. So there was also going to be a pocket version, which was for the Kickstarter. But because it raised so much on Kickstarter, I'm doing the complete Sega CD and 32X as a bonus add-on book.
Nice.
What people don't know, which is an exclusive for the game collectors, is that it was too big to be staple bound. So it is going to be a legitimate paperback book. It already is. I already have it. It's already on order. So It's literally a paperback Sega CD and 32X collector's guide, all regions, everything. They're not huge, but it is insane. I wrote them all too. I did that during Christmas because I'm like, shit, I didn't expect it to hit that stretch goal. And now I got to make a book on the Sega CD and 32X. And I can't take 7 years because literally people need it now. They paid for it. So when people pay for it, I make sure they get it as soon as possible. So it is in printing along with the pocket version. So the pocket version. Now the pocket version is going to be slightly different than my old pocket versions. The old pocket versions were that pocket book, tiny thing. I didn't want to reformat this entire book, so it's going to be a little wider than my other pocket versions. It's going to be the same height as the pocket.
Okay.
It's going to be a little wider, so I don't have to reformat 400 pages.
For sure.
Yeah, so I had been talking with the printer on a way to optimally do it, to do it perfect, so that way it looks great. There's no distortion of the images or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that stuff is in printing. It's going to be badass. And the reason why I'm doing TurboGrafx and PC Engine is because Saru Maru, who we talked about the Super Nintendo, has been asking me for 7 years to do the TurboGrafx 16 book. So I'm like,
nice. Yeah,
I will do it. So I do have a transition real quick for the Talk Me Out of It Tristan, because it has to do with the TurboGrafx 16.
Uh-oh, I gotta see this.
So I have one of these, the Turbo Press. This is modded by Wizard Reproductions, Mr. Wizard Ruins game. I think you can see some stuff over here in my house. And the reason why I opened this up was because I was like, I don't have the freaking charger for this, because I don't know what the hell that is. And I found out that he used a remote control car battery in this.
Oh Lord, a NiCad battery.
A NiCad battery in this. And he's like, well, hopefully you haven't kept it non-charged for a while. I'm like, dude, it's been like years. But it works great. It'll power on right now if I power it on. It works fine. It works great. But the Talk Me Out of It Tristan. So this is a section that whenever it comes up, there's something new tech that I really want to buy, but I freaking shouldn't because I can't afford it. And Tristan either talks me into it or talks me out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So because I have this and now it works, they have upgraded the Turbo EverDrive to a Turbo EverDrive Pro that plays the
I'm going to talk you into that. Yeah, and I might talk you out of that.
But I have the Turbo EverDrive.
What does it matter? Go ahead, buy the Pro.
So where I would hesitate, is I don't know how viable it would be to play those CD games on such a small screen. I mean, obviously you're playing the TurboGrafx 16 games on the small screen already, but I'm just thinking about like, Lords of Thunder and even Rondo of Blood. I don't know, dude.
I mean, the text might be a little bit hard to read because it's so much smaller. But I mean, is that gonna diminish his fun of playing it any less? No.
Yeah, but okay. So I'll say this first and foremost.
I love it.
The Turbo Express, and I've got one too, is not my favorite way to play TurboGrafx 16 games because what genre is heavy on PC Engine and TurboGrafx 16? Shmups. That D-pad destroys your thumb. Destroys.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean,
I've tried playing Airzonk for an extended period of time on that, and it's not a good experience.
No?
I know, I was literally just playing that the other day because I have mine up there.
I love
I don't know. It doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe if you're really going at it for like an hour or so, I could see
How that might be a little crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Oh, Salamander. I love Life Force.
Dude, Life
Yeah,
Force
same.
is one of my
I love
favorites
Life
back
Force
in the
too.
day. That's
So good. Mm-hmm. I hate that last stage with the freaking pipes. Oh gosh.
Oh, what I love about the PC Engine version, though, I'm literally like playing it here, is that instead of the NES one where you actually just get the power ups and then you can select them, you automatically get 2 of the freaking options that bulk applies your firepower right at the beginning. It makes it the best freaking version. That's why I love PC Engine Turbo. Like, I am such a freaking nerd.
until you die later on in one of the later levels, and then you might as well just start over again because it's almost impossible to come back.
Yeah.
That's the NES version, but you still get the options first in this.
I know, but you have to grind and get to that. You have to get the pickup.
Yeah, losing a life in that game is a big deal.
Yeah, you basically have to one coin complete, that game.
It's about. Mm-hmm.
Well, we have Ariel the Enabler who says buy the damn Turbo Pro. And then we got
we're gonna have to change this. We're gonna have to change the segment to I'm always gonna be right.
Okay, yeah. Hey, Ariel can be the angel on your shoulder. I can be the devil on your shoulder.
Well, no, I'm telling him to buy it, so I would be the devil.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's the other way around. You're right.
And so the other thing that's neat is this is the very first edition of the Turbo Express where they did the custom printing and everything. Yeah, the custom label for it. This is the first one that they did that wasn't just a board. And I have the like Crow edition, so like the case is somewhere in storage. But like
I should make you a label for that. Crix gave me approval to do them. I asked him online and he said yes, go ahead.
Crix is the one out of Ukraine, right? Am I getting that right? Yeah.
He's the one that makes the EverDrives. He makes the NES EverDrive and the N64 one. I literally have every single one. They're such awesome. They're awesome pieces. I have it for the Game Boy, the NES, the Super Nintendo, the 64. They're so good.
I've got the Terra Onion MVS Pro in my MVS cab right now.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is that like, because I move around so much, like the Express is what I have for my Turbo right now. Everything else is in storage. And then the other thing that I have is I do have a Sega Nomad, and Tristan sent me this in the mail.
Oh, how
sent me a case.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it's not empty. And so
I stuffed it full of goodies.
I didn't open it yet. Ariel,
I want to see.
You're gonna have to narrate this for me because your picture is frozen for me, unfortunately.
Oh, you're good. I will narrate it because we also have audio only listeners. So
yeah, exactly. Yep.
We have to narrate.
I want to see.
So first thing I got in here was some Tristan patches of Bowser, his cat, which looks like the Neo Geo Wolf logo, but it's Bowser the cat.
Yeah, it's the angry cat tag.
Now, what's cool about this is that Tristan actually got it like the silver threading in it, in the patch. Which was
so Ariel, the story behind that logo, like whenever I did my console guide and put it on Kickstarter, I actually got a a cease and desist from
Cease and desist?
Kickstarter. Yeah, because I was trying to use the Neo Geo dog tag. I'm like, oh, okay, you got me. So I just made it into my.
FNK was not messing around with them.
No, yeah, it's hard. That's hard to do.
Well, and it wasn't a book. It wasn't a book on the Neo Geo, so there's no reason to get a license back.
Yeah, it was just a placeholder anyway. Whatever.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Other cool stuff that he sent me is that he sent me some buttons in there, Mario and Peach.
Yeah, so those are part of that family computer set, and you randomly get those in those boxes.
These are in the card sets.
Yeah, there's 9 of them to collect.
Mario. Her name is Super Mario. Look at that. She is Super Mario.
There's 9 of those to collect.
And this Mario one says family computer on it too, which is
I want those.
This right here is a card set of literally a bunch of the Famicom.
Bunch of Chase, yeah.
Nice.
This one, it looks like X right here, but it says family computer, but it's definitely X. This one right here is, I think this is the Power Rangers game on the Famicom.
Well, if you open up that Rockman one, that's actually a booklet that like opens up into 3 families.
Yeah, that's just a booklet right there. Damn.
Oh wow.
Man. And then this is like a bunch of foil, like this is like your type of Ariel's type of label style Super Mario blocks.
It just looks so cool.
Yeah,
It's a cross between chicken. What is it? The crossing game. I can't remember.
Oh, Crossy Road.
Crossy Road. That was it.
The thing is also like looking at this, these cards are thick too. They're not like really thin cards.
Yeah.
Like,
Those are really nice.
Yeah.
Those are. See, that is quality. It's the detail put into it. I appreciate stuff like that.
Exactly. And this is done on like Ollie or something. And so that is in one pocket. I'm not opening all the individual cards. But then the other thing Tristan threw in there is he threw in here a shit ton of packs, the blue packs, a shit ton. Like enough for another box. And I don't think I've opened my extra box yet either. And then he threw in some Street Fighter versus Darksider card pack and Capcom Platinum Series card packs.
Nice.
So I got shits to open now. See, that was from last episode. Tristan said he had a surprise to send me, and that is the surprise. And we always said each other.
Very nice surprise.
And dude, that Nomad carrying case, I remember buying that for $5.
Dude, so dope.
Yeah.
And like so right now I put my Turbo Express, I put the and let me hold this. I put my PC Engine in one of these. It's just the cases that you buy over at like a normal hardware store.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tiny little one that fits it perfectly. And what I didn't do with the Turbo Express was I didn't put a spot in the foam for the charger. So the charger was somewhere random, and I moved twice, and I didn't know where the freaking charger was. So I just bought one on Amazon for $10, and I got a new charger. Now I have a spot for it in my case, so I won't lose the damn thing. But yeah. But this thing's dope. I love the Turbo Express. This is how I'm playing the games right now.
It's a must. It's definitely a must. Obviously recapping them because those caps are terrible.
Recapped. This is an LCD screen as well.
I was gonna say the screen. You got to do that too.
Rechargeable the batteries, LCD screen, and recaps. Like all of that was done. That's what where Ariel's talking about having his consoles modded, having different things preserved professionally with all these people that he's going to give us all the links to.
Yeah,
because the thing.
I fix sure it's a mine.
Exactly. And I only went through Wizard because I know Wizard because he did a badass holographic label for Jeffrey Whitnigan's Black Box Challenge, which was the homebrew I did like 10 years ago. And he cut these little Nintendo Black Box cartridges and put them in the case and everything, like the clear Nintendo. It was so fucking cool. And I still don't have my damn copy, Jared. Like he never sent me one. But me my own version. I was like, damn. But is a badass holographic label too. It's such a cool. I did 10 of them.
Damn.
For crazy custom stuff like that, I always reach out to Rose Colored Gaming. I love their shit, man. And Wig uses that. He's a nice guy. Yeah.
I have a bunch of his stuff too.
Yeah. Oh, he is such a nice guy, man. Oh my gosh.
Another very detail-oriented creator.
Yes. Yeah, he obviously cares. Obviously.
I think I've spent like $200 or $300 on his site already. And there's some still more that I want, but it's
Yeah, I mean, I've got this right here from him.
nice.
So shiny. Nope. My question to you guys. So we are at like an hour and a half, we're an hour and a half, 2 hours on the recording. I think that the game collectors should be about showing off cool shit and talking about the collecting.
I think so too.
Yeah, we're at 2 hours.
Maybe we don't go down the rabbit hole of news and we don't go down the rabbit hole of physicals coming out soon. Maybe when we get some of the physicals in.
Yeah, that makes more sense, honestly.
I was like, otherwise we're going to have another 4-hour episode. There was one story, though, that I had that I put in the notes that I wanted to mention. Well, there's two, actually. One's a collecting one, so it's very relevant. It's not about it. But I did get a message. There was this game on the Switch that was released on PlayStation. It was called Ragnar. And I think it's shoot 'em up, I think. But it was Japanese released only on the Switch. And it was apparently delayed a second time to the point where I had forgot that I had pre-ordered it because it's been 2-3 years and I've moved 3 times. And so I had to reach out to him and go, hey, bro, I'm about to move again, but because it's now delayed from March 2025 to June 2025. So everybody has delays on these Switch things, but it's called Rugnar, Ragnar. And I have
Not the store.
Yeah, I have a pre-order for it, for the physical. I don't know when I did it because I have not been pre-ordering Switch stuff in years. So, but I got an email last month saying, I was like, that's something I wanted to bring up on the collectors.
It's finally going out.
Interesting.
But it was delayed from March to June. And June's when I'm moving again. So, like, I was like, well, I had to let them know, hey, I'm going to let them move again, just so you know. So, that's why I haven't been pre-ordering anything, because, like, you pre-order from a limited run, premium edition.
Yeah, you always have to worry about that. Yeah, and Kickstarters, too. Yeah, that's a rough.
Just give them my address and have them send it to me.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere, too. You can send it to me.
I'm definitely not going anywhere. I'm going to die in this house.
Same.
The other thing in the way dude, you ain't moving. I mean, I'm living that shit. I'm screwed. So the other thing that happened to me last month, that's a collector thing, and y'all are very well aware of this, was the first time it's happened to me. My daughter she's been playing Utopia. And she's like, my touchscreen isn't working. My touchscreen's not working. I was like, oh, it's probably fine. You probably just got to recalibrate. No. So I looked, and there's like a little oval on the bottom screen. The battery swelled up.
Oh, yeah.
And so I didn't even know, because I know Chris Tang from Sega, like the Sega World Champion. Chris Tang, who also is doing a bunch of cool shit, he has talked about his versions of the Steam Deck. His Steam Deck batteries have been swollen. I'm like, how the hell? I've never had a battery swell. As soon as I said that, a couple weeks later, my 3DS battery, it was like this. So the 3DS battery swells up and it applies pressure to that touchscreen to the point where it ruins. And so I have already ordered, because they have a ton of them on Amazon. I already ordered a battery replacement, so the battery's already replaced. But the touchscreen, they sent me a damn DS one and not a 3DS one. So now I had to reorder another one, so I'm waiting. But, like, literally, she can't touch part of the side. So the game is, like, not as fun for her. She wants to play a damn game that's not Roblox right now, so I want to take advantage. That she
had a PSP battery swell up on me one time. Yeah. Actually popped the back cover off.
I don't know if you guys...
That happened.
I don't know if you guys remember, but last year in 2024, sorry, near the beginning, actually now I can't remember if it was 2023 or 24. It seems so close by, where Nintendo was finally discontinuing sales of all the 3DS stuff. So I went on immediately and I bought I bought several pairs of 3DS and DS batteries.
I love whenever they put their stuff in the
Eric batteries.
On their website, whenever they do that clearance stuff, I love that, man. Oh, and it's like all the time.
Yeah, they don't have those. They don't have it anymore. Everything 3DS is completely gone. So I took advantage, and I have several extra batteries waiting there. Because yes, I know you can go on Amazon and buy some, but for batteries especially, I prefer OEM. Just like
OEM, sure, yeah.
Just for you, just like you, I did have a PSP battery go, and PSA OEM is impossible to find anymore. So that one I did unfortunately have to just get a regular one off Amazon, and it's done okay.
Collar on Amazon.
Yeah, but it's a crapshoot, when you're getting these aftermarket batteries.
Might be. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead and finish.
No, I was done. Go ahead.
So at one point on eBay, I have no idea who was selling this, but I bought a lot of 15 new old stock Gizmondos, 15 of them, but none of them had batteries. So that was a dilemma, and not until recently did someone find like a phone battery that's like compatible.
That's compatible.
Yeah. But yeah,
so you have an entire crate. You have a master pack of Gizmondos.
I was giving them away. I think I have like one left. I have one left. Well, so two about the. I have the one that I play, and then I've got the other OEM one. That's dude, and the PVC coating is all sticky now. Like, yeah, yes,
It's bleeding.
Gross.
There's somebody, man, I can't remember because it happened with my lightsaber. I have an official lightsaber. This $200 piece, the Darth Vader one that does rubber on them. The rubber started bleeding. Same thing. And there was somebody on X that mentioned a perfect rejuvenator for that. And now I have to go back on and remember because something else that I have. It also started.
I got stuff that bleeds. Yeah.
So but I have a second piece now, and I can't remember what it was, so I have to contact them again to find out.
I know how to fix that. Because I've done it. I had a Dragon Quest, those slime controllers?
Yeah, the slime.
It had the same exact coating. If you just take isopropyl alcohol and just wipe it, it'll take off that coating, and it's just smooth plastic.
Does it mess up the rubber?
No. Oh, yeah, the rubber's gone. I mean, but it's deteriorated beyond repair anyway.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, it sucks. Yeah. I'll try that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
just isopropyl alcohol
that bled, but it's starting to happen with more and more of the rubbery plastics.
Yeah, it's PVC, and there's nothing that can bring it back.
Exactly.
It sucks. There's so many different products out there now that over time they're starting to get all gunky.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the bad plastic and the Super Nintendo. It makes it yellow, and I hate that so much.
It's a part of our lives, man.
I know, yeah. First world problems. Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. Did you have another thing, or
So to close out the episode, we should mention a few Kickstarters that need some love. I got a couple that we can just quickly mention.
Okay.
And then we'll talk about the executive producers and close out the episode.
Sure. I got final thoughts for everybody. Yeah, that's
true. Exactly. So, from the Kickstarter perspective, there is 2 issues of Retro Game Zine out there. Retro Game Zine does these tiny little booklets on specific games. So I have one over here, and it's like It Came from the Desert, and it's a random Retro Game Zine. So they're dope. They have 2 of them right now on Kickstarter. RPM issue 5 is out. RPM is the unofficial PlayStation magazine. So it's a retro PlayStation magazine, RPM. The guy Sanjay Deep has done a few PlayStation books. They're freaking.
Oh, I know that name. Yeah,
Sanjay's awesome.
Sanjay's awesome, and those magazines are super dope. So I always want to throw shout outs to the other awesome creators out there because we make cool stuff, but they do too, and we should support everyone. Then, of course, Hand-Drawn Game Guides was officially funded. At the time I wrote this note, it was 500%, but I guarantee you it went way higher.
Crazy.
This shit is so freaking cool. And I'm not sure if they have late backers. I would assume that they do, but it's a badass thing. I absolutely got a copy. I mean, that's it. And then follow from episode 1, I said, we need to talk about this campaign, Tristan. They have 6 different freaking homebrews up there. And we were anticipating that it would, because it was up for 40 days or something. And they had Super Nintendo for Game.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah.
So it is it's by Trezzy. That's the name of the person. TRESIBRA.
I need to send them a cease and desist.
That's right. but it's Guardian Game Studios has done them. It's still only 50% right now, man. Because like the thing we were talking about is he should have probably done like a game or a series that that's like one IP, but he had like all of them, and then the funding amount was too high for what it currently is.
Yeah.
And then just as you go on Kickstarter, give some of these indie developers some love because there's a lot of games out there that look badass. There's like a little Kirby-like game that was up there that I literally backed today, and it's not going to be funded, and it looks cool as shit. It's just there's so much out there right now that needs love. So definitely give love to all the awesome games out there, whether they have a physical or not, man. Closing thoughts though before we do the outro.
So just a couple things that I forgot to mention. I'm now working with 8-Bit Steve on his the Easy Way series. I'm his layout guy.
And if you're not aware of the Easy Way series, Ariel included, it is a way to play Nintendo games by a world record runner. He does like speed runners. He's a speed runner. He's a badass. And so
one of the best, if not the best.
So I had published the Easy Way Friday the 13th with an impressive hardcover version, and it literally shows you step by step how to beat Friday the 13th. And you can do it. You can do it. I can do it. We had a kid do it at a convention, a child, and they beat the game live on the panel. Like the dude is like next level, and he's done Fester's Quest, Jaws. He's done a lot of other ones. He usually does little thin magazine styles, and they're awesome.
Yeah, it breaks down RNG, it breaks down code. I mean, like it goes down into the depths of the details.
Yeah. And what we know is that 8-Bit Steve is a genius, but he's not great at doing the layouts, and Tristan is helping the dude out. So now we're gonna have some badass layouts with some awesome ass strategy guides. It's gonna be a cool thing.
Yeah. Another one thing I'm doing, and then recently this week I was actually on John Hancock did a video on my video game collector's field guide. That was on Wednesday. And then I was on Friday's Metal Jesus video, which I wasn't expecting, but I sent books to Reggie. Reggie brought him on his show. I didn't know he was doing that, but dude, my sales since that happened, have spiked. So
just out of clarity, Reggie did mention that Tristan worked on the Haunted Halloween games.
Yeah, like what? When he said that, I'm like, no.
What? He crossed his wires. He just crossed his wires.
Yeah, I said, whatever. I'm not going to correct him.
He's an OG Army guy. He's got a screw list. He's Reggie.
Yeah. And then one last thing is the book. So I'm working on the video game dictionary, and then I'm working on the video game trading card book, but I'm also working on an energy drink book, basically, like from the perspective of video gamers. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like Monster, Red Bull, NOS, awesome.
I mean, like I'm listing every variant of everything, and then I'm doing like video game pairings and stuff. So it's it'll be fun. Like what game goes good with what, so like Game Fuel obviously will go good with Halo, right?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, Tristan's always got it. We actually both have like always.
We have so many books. I've got a list of stuff I want to do, and just no time to do it.
I have no time to write a book. I don't have enough time to go take a crap, much less write a book.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm doing the complete TurboGrafx 16, but I'm also finishing up Switch Collector Year 3, the third year of the Switch. That'll be done this year, going to Kickstarter, maybe the fall. I just want to make sure I get the Genesis book on, at least to the backer kit ones, shipped out before that. But I have the Year 3 pretty much done. And then I'm working on Indie Gaming Gems, a sequel to my Hidden Gaming Gems 500-page book. I'm doing indie games. And so I've got about 20 of the 100 games done, because there's 4-page spreads on each game. It's badass.
Gee, it's great. You're writing like 3,000 pages a year.
One last thing, and I have to shout them out. So I also write for Old School Gamer magazine. So if any of the listeners have never heard of that, it's one of the last print magazines in the United States. And there's a whole lot of like knowledgeable people that are on the magazine, myself excluded. I'm just kidding. But no, it's definitely worth. Yeah, it's definitely worth a look, and it's an amazing magazine, just full of so much retro stuff. So check it out. Old School Gamer magazine.
Yeah, we usually have an ad for Hagen's Alley in there. Usually rotates. It's badass, and then he does the hard hitters. So he does like a highlight of one of the biggest, most collectible rare games, and
and why it's rare, and yeah,
he's pretty dope. Pretty dope. I remember looking at the hard hitters, and I'm like, I saw one of those in Hawaii at the store, and it was Jack Bros. And it was well under MSRP, and they added an extra 0 right after we had talked about it. I'm like, mother effer. I went out there, and I
should have bought it. Why didn't you buy it?
Well, not when they added the extra 0 after.
No, before they added the extra 0. Why didn't you buy it when you saw it?
Well, because I'm an old person here, Ariel, and when I went there and I saw the price, I was like, oh, that's a little bit more than it's worth now. Not thinking that the fricker went up like 10 times the amount in the last 5 years, and it had. And so there was one thing. So old school VGBS, when we would record, we would talk prices of CIB games and shit. And I remember at the episode 100, we were talking about it, and Kyle was like, what the hell? This game is now thousands of dollars, because we got games like Panic Restaurant stuff for I know we got for $50. And so I have the complete NES collection, but it's like mint and everything, but it is wild. And so it blew his mind that things at that point, like years ago, it was like expensive. Now it's like insanely priced.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if for anyone who's trying to start a retro game collection now, yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Baby steps.
I'm trying to finish. I mean, I haven't bought one in a while. I'm about 60% of the way through Super Nintendo.
I am.
But I already have all the heavy hitters. So, that's the good thing. The only thing that I'm missing, which I probably don't think I can responsibly ever pay for, is the Donkey Kong competition cart. So, that's going for like $6,000. I have the Star Fox one, which is about $4,000.
Yeah, very nice. I actually played that weekend. I did. Yeah, I've got my participation pin and everything.
So I have Hagane, I have the Star Fox one, I have all those things, but even buying the cheaper ones for the rest of the collection is still going to cost like $10,000. So
the evil enabler in me is what you should do just to bother you is buy the reproduction green version that they do at RetroUSB.com and put it as a placeholder, so you have to look at it until you get the real one.
Yes, do that.
You have to look at it as a freaking lazy.
I did do that with the Nintendo World Championship cart. I do have that one. So
nice.
which is funny because now the retro USB Nintendo World Championship cart, that one goes for like about $300.
Well, because it's out of stock now. Yeah, he doesn't sell it anymore.
It's crazy.
I know.
Did you see the sale of the Nintendo World Championships gold cart? That hit 260,000.
$260,000, man.
No, this was recent.
Yeah. It was just like 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, that's going to be my heavy hitters article then.
Now I can. So the guy who bought it, his name is Ryan. He's the owner of Fire and Ice Games out in California.
I know.
Yeah, same. So I'm literally. I don't know if he wants me to show it. I'm literally making the shirts with the gold cart on it right now.
Oh, sick!
That was awesome. Yeah, I've been doing his stuff for like 3 years or so. He's a great guy. So
he's cool. So I see him on conventions on the West Coast all the time. He's cool shit.
Yeah. So he's the one who bought it. Yeah. He has that, and at the same time, within a month, he showcased that along with a sealed graded stadium event.
Gross.
Yeah, he's came across them and he documents them on YouTube, which is pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
He has. Yeah, we're talking, $350,000-$400,000 worth of games and 2 carts.
Yeah,
dude, it's fucking crazy. Like
respect.
You'll see some like game companies that will show off their rarest game. Then they're showing like Power Blade 2. Then you got the dude who has a graded freaking stadium events in the NWC, and it's like,
yes,
dude.
Yeah. No, his collection, his personal collection is absolutely buck one. But I mean, but if you see his store, I had done his store graphics for the front of all 3 stores. Now he's about to open a 3rd one now near the first 2 locations. If you see the stores, the care that he puts, the detail that he put, I mean, this is just a retro game store, but it doesn't look like your typical retro game store. It is amazing what you're walking into. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. So if you're ever in Rockland, California, you have to make it a point to go to his store.
Where's Rockland near? Like, what makes
Sacramento.
Okay.
Sacramento.
Oh, cool, dude. My sisters live right there, and I think I'm actually going there this June, so I'm gonna make a point to go. Yes.
Take advantage and go.
I will.
It is.
I'll say that every
miles a drive there. Oh no, for sure. No, it's like
yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. No, I designed his logo. I did, his big sign above the store, all his store graphics. It's super.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was for
That's what I'm talking about. I love, digging back into the community. I don't want to just work for big guys. I like working with small businesses. We're the ones that are keep it alive. We're the ones that keep it going. That's why. I mean, sorry to digress, but obviously you've seen over the last year and a half, 2 years, all the layoffs that have been happening for all these game studios. And it sucks because we love to harp on Microsoft, we love to harp on Sony and all the stupid shit that they do. But I mean, obviously, we want to see the game community continue to grow, and it hurts so much to see all those layoffs, all the people that are getting hurt. I heard stories, people that were just hired, literally the month prior, they were onboarded, only to get laid off, 30 days later. I mean, who does that? It's inhumane. So these companies failed to realize, that it's people like us. Yes, of course. There's a million 15-year-olds out there playing Fortnite, sure, but there's another 10 million other people, gamers like us that have grown up with the industry and keep it alive at the same time.
And it's just and Tristan, we thought we went down the rabbit hole. Ariel takes it to another level.
Well, no, and that's like fine. I mean,
5 minutes ago, I did want to say, I think Fire Nights does go to SoCal Gaming Expo and Retro Game, and Game On Expo in Arizona. So we have met him at Game On.
Yes, here I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like to Ariel's point.
Take a breath so that we could talk, Ariel. It's a podcast.
Though, I mean, like it is the passionate few that keep it going. I mean, the people that have that fire inside them, like we're millions. No. But in relatively speaking, yes, you've got like millions of gamers, but then the relative few that have that fire inside of them that just want to keep it going and make it better all the time, however they can. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I'm thinking for the next episode, I got a good topic for us to talk about, and it is, what is your biggest regret for collecting something that you could have bought that you didn't? Let's not talk about it today because
I know, but
2 hours.
I already know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, Tristan, not yet. For next time,
I'm not gonna say it. I just know exactly what I'm gonna say next time.
Yeah, because I got one too, and it was about 20 minutes ago when we started talking this story. But I got some cool shit. But yeah, no, I got one too. So yeah, come up with something cooler, because I mean, you've been collecting some of these complete series, and you've probably
there's so many over the years that I've had a chance to buy, and I never did. Stupidly, I think,
exactly.
Oh, this is a little too much. Only to realize now that it's 10 times the amount.
Yeah,
exactly. And so that's a perfect thing. So we could talk about retro regrets, like games that we should have bought that we didn't. And of course, now this thing is not coming on my tablet, so I could talk about the backers that supported us on Patreon. So, fortunately, I know 3 of them, and I know the 4th one by the top of my head. Oh, there we go. For the executive producers on Patreon, that is over at the Hagen's Alley Patreon. There'll be a link in the comments below. We have our executive producers at Krilloff. We have Burner Turner, David Isherwood. He's over the pond in
yeah. I know him. He was one of my backers. I recognize that name.
And then we have
you got to get some sound. We got to get some sound effects in there for those guys, man. I want to hear clapping for them.
Yeah, like oh, hold on. Where's my soundboard?
Yeah, I mean, you have a sound. I mean, I could clap, but
Anyway,
probably make it sound way better than I could.
Well, and then if you had the running notes open, you all could take turns and read it too.
Yeah.
And then you have Lunchbox, aka the Disgruntled Gamer.
hell yeah.
Nerd
Nice.
Society. So he's
Our
one of the
friend.
OGs. He's one of the OGs that chats with us on Video Game Bullshit. We got some others that also do the free memberships. We got a few others do the digital. But we actually manually call them and give them a shout out at the end of every episode that we do. As a thank you for supporting us on Patreon. And you will get some cool stuff.
All four of you guys, I am going to be sending you some random video game trading card stuff that I've come across in the last few weeks. So,
you know what? I will make some extras. I'm sure some. You know what I can send? I know they're probably Capcom CPS, fans out there. So I will send some of the Capcom CPS, stuff that we're doing.
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And that's the cool thing, because they're like, I am creating a care package for all the executive producers and producers.
I'll send it to you then. I'll send it to you.
But if it's easier just to send it directly to them, we'll do that too. It really depends on what we're sending.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. Because like executive producers gets cool stuff, and producers do as well. And so we are just starting back up the Hagen's Alley Patreon. Originally, the Hagen's Alley Patreon was used to release the Video Game Culture Chronicles series that I was doing as books 15 years ago. And so 1990 and 1991 were released exclusively on Patreon. And that is some of those chase books that I have that people can't find, because I don't have copies of those. And so I am going to do 92 eventually. I actually have it templated out. I just have to design hundreds of pages. No big deal. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. You knock that out in a weekend, dude.
Right. Pages. But yeah, so I think that does wrap up this episode of the Game Collectors. Glad to have Ariel, and as Tristan loves to say, pop his cherry.
Oh yeah, that's my catchphrase. You pull a string on my back to say that all the time.
And he goes, the NES. And then
Wow, that game looks minty.
Mincy NES.
Cats of Lords of Shadow is the best.
Yeah, and then to me, they're my favorites.
That's just fighting words right there. What's up?
Yes, but we thank you all for listening to us. If you want us to talk about all the Nintendo Switch games coming out, because this was the Switch Mania Playcast back in the day, let us know in the comments, and we will add that to the repertoire. Maybe cut down some of the side talk, but the side talk's what it's all about. So it's
awesome. And thank you both, for adding me on, and
oh yeah, brother.
This is going to be super cool going forward.
Well, so much fun, man. So much fun.
This is see why we only record once a month, because we talk a lot.
There's a lot. We got a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about, and so it also helps us hone in. So we didn't talk about what's going on in the news, and we didn't talk about what's going on all the physical releases.
Maybe we include a surprise episode 2 weeks from now or something. Who knows?
Hey,
who never knows, man.
Well, there's so much. That's the thing. There's so much going on. But yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. There's we got some really cool stuff that's going to be coming down the pike.
It's fun.
Awesome.
And we ended, however, and then it's good.